President Biden is pledging billions of dollars in infrastructure spending on projects he says will, quote, right historic wrongs.
Our interstate highway system laid out in the 50s, but instead of connecting communities, it divided them. These highways actually tore them apart.
The president is earmarking $3.3 billion for projects to reconnect those predominantly minority neighborhoods. For more on this, let's bring in Stephen Benjamin. He is a senior advisor to the president and director of public engagement. Mr. Benjamin, thanks so much for being with us.
I'm glad. Thank you all so much for having me.
So it's been 60 plus years since these neighborhoods have been divided. Why has it taken so long to right this wrong?
Well, I can't speak for other presidents. I can tell you, I'm a former mayor. I remember coming to Washington every other month for Infrastructure Week, and President Biden has committed to an infrastructure decade. The $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill has fundamentally changed infrastructure across the country, almost 50,000 projects in every state of the union. And this particular project, we're talking about something that happened 60 years ago, highways cutting through Black and brown communities all across this country to try and put President Eisenhower's vision for infrastructure in place, connecting people from suburbs to downtowns. It was time to right those wrongs, and President Biden has made it a priority. His announcement yesterday of $3.3 billion to try and correct some of these wrongs is pretty significant, being well received all across the country. In Milwaukee, specifically, we're talking about reconnecting historically African-American neighborhood with historically Latino neighborhood. As opposed to having cars speeding down the street, have widened sidewalks, you have green spaces and parks, a place as a civic square where people convene. But it's a big deal, and it's happening obviously in 40 different states, hundreds of projects, and we're really excited about it.
Yeah, I'm actually curious about how this would work and how quickly we would see these projects getting underway. You really, succinctly described a portion of what happened all across the country, right? These huge highways that either blocked off neighborhoods or just barreled right through them. Right. How do you fix that? It's an awful lot of money to put a highway underground or whatever it would take. So, what does this plan? What do these projects look like, and when will we see the ball rolling?
Just like your viewers just saw that amazing SpaceX launch, it's going to take some amazing American ingenuity and leadership. Every community is very different. In Atlanta, I have about $160 million, and then also in Philadelphia, $160 million providing what's called a stitch, which means over these highways that have been built, they're literally building passageways over the highway, creating green spaces, reconnecting these communities. And for those of us who might not be old enough to remember these damaging decisions made 50, 60 years ago, pay a little close attention now when you're riding through communities and you see highways that literally separate houses on either side that look just alike, look like they have the same historic DNA, and you realize that these decisions were made and they were wrong. And this decision by President Biden and Vice President Harris is meant to be restorative and reparative, and will significantly enhance the value of homes in those communities. And also, I think their development going forward, reconnecting businesses, where people go to school, where people worship. It's a big move in the right direction, something positive that we should all celebrate.
New CBS polling focusing on Georgia shows that President Biden is struggling to maintain his 2020 level of support amongst Black voters there. What do you think he has to do to win back that voting bloc that turned out for him in the 2020 election? And are you getting a sense that some of that erosion is due to people that are perhaps toying with the idea of supporting or even voting for former President Donald Trump?
Well, Vlad, I'm gonna have to leave the politics to the politicians. I used to be an elected official. I'm on this side of the ledger at the White House, and I'm gonna stay there for now. I will say this: from where we sit, good governance is good politics. So we're going to continue working with and for the president and vice president, making sure that the incredible successes we've seen through this infrastructure bill, through the Inflation Reduction Act, the greatest investment in climate change and clean energy in the history of the world, the work around the Chips and Science Act. We saw it during the pandemic, the way in which all of our lives were fundamentally changed without having access to a stable supply of semiconductor chips, and certainly also making sure we're celebrating the success of the American Rescue Plan, which literally delivered us from the pandemic and has pushed crime down to 50-year lows all across the country, put people back to work, 15 million new jobs, unemployment under 4% for over 2 years running. The first time it's happened in anyone's recollected memory. So we're going to continue doing our jobs of good governance, being good policy and good politics, and I'm gonna let the politicians do what they do.
All right, Stephen Benjamin, thank you very much.